Hello. Wanted to go through a learning phase of self-regulated learning. As you can see there, it's a definition of self-regulated learning. It's the conscious and purposeful use of one's cognitive skills, feelings, and actions to maximize the learning of knowledge and skills for a given task and set of conditions. So you can see I got a picture here of a little guy playing baseball. And I did that because I noticed this self-regulation learning at a very young age. I've coached Little League, and my son is now 15, but coached him when he was a very young age, and my daughter as well. And something I noticed by coaching kids that had older siblings, I noticed that they were really, really good at this self-regulated learning at a young age. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are now as they get older, but I noticed it at a very young age. And where I noticed that is for right here from the forethought phase and setting goals and formulating strategies. You could tell that those younger ones that had older siblings probably were playing catch in the backyard or at practice and hitting the ball at a young age, and they had to improve their self-efficacy real fast probably to keep up with their older siblings. And so at practices and things like that, when you paired those young guys up, those 4 or 5-year-olds with other 4 or 5-year-olds, they just kind of seemed to already have that self-regulation phase because they were kind of fast-forwarded into that. You could tell their outcome expectations were higher, and they wanted to throw the ball farther and hit the ball farther and those kind of things. And then their learning orientation and their performance orientation goals were superior as well. From that young age. So just something that I had noticed, and as these little years progress, coach some high school baseball as well. You can notice that some of them they get the players that excel, even though they may not be as talented. They've been able to set higher expectations for themselves and work maybe a little tiny bit harder to accomplish other things. That's kind of when you go into that performance phase. You can see this is a point where the athlete has to they actually have to do something, and so they have to perform. And so you can see self-control, attention focusing, self-instruction, self-observation, and trying out different forms of behaviors. And so, especially with athletics, you really have to learn through the feel, the touch, the kinesiology aspect of it. That moving past that performance phase and then to have kind of a self-reflective phase to look back and say, hey, did I perform well or did I not perform well? Was it luck, or how is it that I actually got to the point that I am now? And that's evaluating your behavior, attributing outcomes to effort and their ability, and then tasks, difficulty, and like I said, if it's luck or not. Drawing those inferences about what needs to improve definitely helps with that self-regulated learning. And you can tell the self-regulated learners that excel are able to go through those different phases. So thank you for listening to the video.